What's up, guys? So this video was supposed to be yesterday's. I was helping friends do stuff and time sort of got away from me. As you can obviously tell from the title and the thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about the unofficial Disney princesses, and more so which ones I think actually deserve, or at least most meet the criteria for being a Disney princess. I just realised that I've got one other place on my list. That's okay. This video is to coincide with the fact that it is Women's History Month. Not being a woman myself, I didn't sort of want to make a whole bunch of videos because I didn't feel like I'd be able to do them justice, and that's really what those videos would have deserved, because when it comes right down to it, I don't know what it's like to be a woman, so I didn't want to go out there and try to make some videos in the belief of equality, just like gender equality, because I didn't want it to sort of come across as being a man's opinion or whatever, because that's not at all what Women's History Month is about. And there are some amazing women out there, so yeah, I didn't want to sort of cross a line, if that makes sense. Anyway, on to the actual topic of today's video. So I have written down a list of unofficial Disney princesses. This does include 5 from the Fox acquisition, with one sort of honourable mention from that acquisition as well, which I don't consider to actually meet criteria at all, but yeah, we'll get it. I'll explain it when we get there. So from their actual alright, so from their sorry, just trying to figure some stuff out as to why certain things are where they are. Anyway, we'll go from the top of my list anyway. Anna in Frozen, specifically Anna. I don't think Elsa meets the criteria because in the first movie Frozen, she gets coronated as Queen. So I don't think that she would therefore fit into the Disney princesses. Besides which, she starts out being that film's villain, sort of, and then it's only later when it turns out that Hans is actually the villain of the film that she sort of gets her redemption. I have not seen Frozen 2, so I cannot speak for Frozen 2. I really want to see Frozen 2. But Anna is a princess. She's also the main character of the film. She's sort of the one that we follow on her journey to bring her sister home. So I think if anyone in Frozen deserves to be a Disney princess, it's Anna. I think the reason that she and Elsa weren't coronated as Disney princesses was because Frozen earned way too much at the box office and became a franchise instead. I believe that that's one of the things, one of the criteria. It's got to be within a certain bracket and not spawn a franchise. I think it's one of the criteria. At the other end of that same criteria, we have Princess Ada and Dot. Probably more so Dot from A Bug's Life. From what I can assume at the end of that film, I'm assuming that she marries, that Ada marries Flick, therefore becoming a queen instead. Obviously she would be the queen once her mother died. Yeah, no, she does. Remembering my favourite Pixar movie right now, at the end of the film, the elderly queen gives Ada her big flower crown, and then Ada gives Dot the little leaf tiara that she'd been wearing. I have to change my answer there, that's Dot. Dot from A Bug's Life. This one, I don't think made enough. Also, it's an ant. I can't see them being able to market that as like costumes for kids, particularly the little girls, that they would be addressing that merchandising line towards. And also, I believe that A Bug's Life came out before Disney's acquisition of Pixar. I think it was Toy Story 2 and onwards was like Disney's Pixar. But yeah, A Bug's Life is my favourite Pixar film. Pixar is currently owned and has been for pretty much its entire existence by Disney. So I think Dot should be a Disney princess, personally. We've got Ailenwy from The Black Cauldron. This film would... No, it wouldn't. I was about to say that it would predate any other Disney princess, but it wouldn't. Snow White is literally the first film Disney made, so it would not. But I don't think it did so well critically and financially at the box office, so therefore it didn't cut it. I am currently myself trying to hunt down a copy of The Black Cauldron because it's probably the Disney film I want to watch the most that I haven't already seen. So if you know where I can get it, that'd be great. We've got, I didn't even know that this character or her TV show existed, but we've got Elena of Avalon, and I believe that that's exactly why she's a Disney princess. It's because she has a TV show rather than a film. And generally speaking, they take their princesses from like the movie side of things. We've got Kairi in Kingdom Hearts. I believe that the reason she's not is because she's specifically a video game character from Kingdom Hearts. She's an original character for Kingdom Hearts. In that she is one of the 7 princesses of Heart, although her and Alice are not technically royalty. So therefore, I believe that's why Kairi doesn't fit. However, if they made Kairi a Disney princess, they'd be able to tie it over their video game side of things, because there are a fair few Kingdom Hearts fans out there that are also cosplayers, and by making those costumes a little more readily available, you may see an increase in Kairis and Soras and Rikus attending conventions. I've got Megara from Hercules. Now I would have to double check. In fact, I'm going to right now. Bear with me 2 seconds. Megara is actually from the original Greek myth of Hercules. she's in that his first wife, and she is, if I read that correctly, she is the daughter of King Creon of Thebes, therefore making her, yep, she's the eldest daughter of Creon of Thebes. Yeah, so she is actually a princess. She does also then marry Hercules, who is a prince of Olympus, with his father being Zeus and the king. So why Megara missed out, I will never know. Possibly because that film was more aimed towards young boys. Is possibly why. And it's possibly the same thing for Kita from Atlantis as well. That film is probably aimed more towards young boys. Other characters from Disney's actual like animations that they make themselves that I don't think qualify because they are not royalty. Alice in Wonderland, Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame, Jane from Tarzan, who at best is English nobility, given the general time frame that we can assume that film takes place, when a lot of English nobility were going hunting and exploring in the African jungles. It's at best she's nobility. There's Nani and Lilo from Lilo and Stitch. I saw someone try to argue the fact that Nani is a very heroic character and therefore should be, but she's not actually royalty, and so therefore misses out on that key definition, and Lilo being her sister would therefore also fit into that argument. Giselle from Enchanted was going to marry Prince Edward, I think his name is, ends up marrying Robert and living in New York and becoming a fashion designer, not a princess. Although, if they wanted to sort of throw her into the canon of, considering that one of the things that I've read as being a criteria is the merchandising, particularly in costumes for little girls, you could make it that Giselle makes those dresses if you wanted to throw her into the canon. We've then got Elizabeth from Pirates of the Caribbean. I saw someone try to, I saw a couple of articles try to argue for her to be put on the list. She is a royal governor's daughter and not actually a princess herself. She sort of fits into the same category as Jane. She's nobility at best. And then Korra from Tron, who is basically like Tron's version of the genetic mutant. So nothing at all about that screams princess. From the live action side of things, there's Princess Leia from Star Wars. There's Nancy from Enchanted, and there's Mia from the Princess Diaries, who are all themselves princesses, whether by birth or by marriage. Leia is actually an interesting one. Her mother was Queen Amidala of Naboo, who then became a senator, and then she was raised by other senators. So the reason, I don't know how she ended up being called Princess Leia in the original films. But if you sort of trace it back, she is technically a princess. She was the daughter of a former queen. And then Nancy marries Prince Edward and goes into the animated side of Enchanted, and Mia discovers that she's a princess in the Princess Diaries. Them all being live action, they probably miss out on having to use the person's likeness, which would mean that every time that they would want to use that character, they would have to pay that person, whether or not that person's voicing the character, just to use their likeness. And I believe Moana, which is the last character I've got here from Disney itself, I believe that we're just awaiting her coronation. I believe she's getting one. Okay, so then we'll move on to the ones that we've got from Fox. Now I will leave a link down below. BuzzFeed has a list that has, it lists it as 13. There's a couple there where they've got multiple characters sort of just grouped together. So it's more than 13 characters, but I will leave the link down below for you to check it out. However, the following 5 are the only ones I think fit, and I will give an honourable mention as the 6th for which one I think doesn't qualify and the reasons therefore. Okay, so the 5 that I think should qualify from the acquisition from Fox are Neytiri from Avatar. She's obviously number 1, not only because of how popular Avatar is, but the fact that since acquiring it and knowing that we have 4 films coming, Neytiri is going to be released by 20th Century Pictures underneath Disney, and so it will therefore be a Disney princess. Whether or not they decide to market her that way is another thing, so time will tell with Neytiri. Next up, 2nd and 3rd place, we've got Susan and Lucy from the Narnia films. Obviously, Lucy would more so fit Susan. Susan was in 2 of them. Lucy was in all 3. But there are 7 books in that series, so I am just wondering if Disney's going to decide to move the other ones and try to continue the story. I don't know, because we did get introduced to Eustace, and I'm pretty sure Eustace is the main character in at least 1 or 2 of the other books. So there is a way that we can sort of follow that storyline naturally in that way. Number 4 is Buttercup from Princess Bride. Don't think that needs any further explanation. Buttercup is the titular character of Princess Bride, and it's such a classic film that she should just already be assumed to be a Disney princess since being acquired. And then number 5, and the one that I would like to see a sequel for the most, Anastasia. Anastasia was released in '97. Got a spin-off a couple of years later. I think it was like early 2000s. I think it was like 2000, 2001, something like that. But it got a spin-off as Bartok the Magnificent. But if they decided to do a sequel for Anastasia now, yeah, I think it'd be really interesting how they would go about it. Because obviously you'd be able to delve a little bit more into like Russian folklore and stuff, which could be really interesting to see. And considering that it was directed by Don Bluth, who had previously worked for Disney at the time of its release, and therefore afterwards, based on the art style and stuff, many people had just assumed that she was a Disney character, and criteria of what makes a Disney princess. But she's now officially a Disney princess, unofficially, title of this video. So if they made a sequel, they would be able to coronate Anastasia. So make a sequel, Disney, and coronate Anastasia. A lot of people already think she's a princess. Plus, you could, you know, like her father in that film is Tsar Nicholas II of Russia, whose birthday was actually March 15th, the day that I was going to release this video. So, yeah. But given that that's an actual real-world historical figure, you could continue, like, bring in some folklore for the villain, because you had Rasputin to begin with, and he actually had magic, whereas he was just sort of an advisor to Nicholas II. But you could go into Russian folklore to get your villain for the sequel, and then just continue to follow Russia's history for like the time setting. I think that'd be pretty interesting. I mean, there's a fair bit you could do with that. And then my honourable mention to close up this video is Poppy from Trolls. Now, the reason this one comes up on the list at all is the reason I don't think she qualifies. And that is because Trolls was distributed by 20th Century Fox. It wasn't made by them, it was made by DreamWorks. DreamWorks also has Shrek, so if we're going to sort of go, oh well, this was produced, you know, this was released by them but made by these people, and then just sort of go from that company as well, eventually you're going to find that every princess ever should be coronated as a Disney princess, and that's just not the case. And I don't think distributing a film is the same as making the film, the same way that all of those other films that I mentioned, except for the acquisitions, obviously, were actually made by Disney. Both Tron and Tron Legacy were made by Disney. All of the Pirates films were Disney. Enchanted was them sort of combining their classical animation with their live action stuff. Lilo and Stitch was one. All of Princess Diaries were made by them. Star Wars, again, is another acquisition one. They made Moana, they did Tarzan, and all the other films that I mentioned, with potentially the exception of A Bug's Life. Yeah, I don't think distribution should qualify Poppy, because she's not actually a Fox property. She's a DreamWorks property, and that's owned by Universal, which is obviously a rival company, to the point that Universal Studios have their own parks. So yeah, I don't think Poppy should qualify. But that's all I've got for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell as well, if you want to be notified when I upload new videos. That link again for the Fox acquired princesses is down below. Go have a read of it. Let me know what you think. Should I have included more characters from that list on this? Do you disagree with my inclusion of some characters on this list? Let me know in the comment section down below. And until next time, guys, keep your head screwed on.